Welcome to Sydney Reflect, Mr. Prince Bhandari.
Thank you, brother. Pleasure here.
How are you, brother?
Yeah, cruising along. Just busy at job and busy with my new platform,
Uh-huh.
Aina,
Yeah,
AYNEA, which is the.
that's something we need to talk about later on. Yeah,
That's
that's one
correct.
of the
Yeah,
points we need to talk about.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
yeah, welcome to Sydney Reflect. Like I'm in a new place right now. It's like a new studio for me. It's basically my office where I work. So thanks to
yeah.
Universal Thought Council for just providing me this venue to do this. But yeah, I have known you from actually Facebook. We have never met actually so far.
Correct.
But somehow because we studied in the same university, I used to hear your names like from different people out. I think the
Yeah,
first one that when I heard was when we were in the Gladstone for like a leadership conference or something like that. I heard your
yeah,
name
yeah,
there first, like guy from Melbourne who is very active, who is doing this
yeah.
and that. So it's really nice to finally have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So maybe let's just jump into the story, like where we Sydney Reflect is all about reflecting back into what your life was, what your experiences was, especially for international students, because that's how we started. We just wanted to
Yeah.
share the story of international students. So, what's your story? How was it like for you being an international student at the beginning, and how is it now?
Yeah, well, I would say it was quite rewarding to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Despite those challenges, for sure, we all go through. At the end, it was rewarding because I believe in challenges. Like once you go through challenges,
Mm-hmm.
that helps you to be a better version of yourself, and that's how you grow yourself as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, when I was doing my uni, there were lots of ups and downs, like jobs and university, because I know
Mm-hmm.
engineering is not easy. It's
Of
not
course not.
easy. There are lots of things. So I have been through lots of sleepless nights, doing
Mm-hmm.
assignments and everything. But I really admire those things because
Mm-hmm.
those things because of those challenges I'm here now.
Yeah.
So there's nothing I complain about those things. I'll never do that. I'm really happy where I've come from, and yeah, just loving my life and going really great, to be honest.
Yeah. What was it like for you when you came here first? Like, did you have any kinds of like cultural shock, or did you face any kind of difficulties in that terms? Like being coming from like small country and you're in like a big country, so like it's a different culture, it's a different system. Did you had any kind of problems with that?
To be honest, I was in a way mentally prepared because
Mm-hmm.
I knew that it's going to be different, because it's a developed country and there's going to be cultural differences, there's going to be work cultural differences. So I
Mm-hmm.
was aware of those things, and but obviously, when I came here for the first time, one mind was really excited to
Mm-hmm.
see those all fancy things,
Mm-hmm.
all looks neat and tidy, and like everything looks awesome, and
Yeah.
in that sense, one mind was really happy, where the other mind was a bit confused.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm here now. What's
What's
next?
next? Yeah.
Yeah, what's next? And but yes, but slowly as I went to the university and met lots of people, and that helped me to brush myself a
Mm-hmm.
bit further because like everything was new. When you went to the university, the way of teaching was different.
Mm-hmm.
The materials they used was different. Like the online systems, everything was different, and
Mm-hmm.
the teachers they used to be on a Zoom call.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes they'll be in Queensland or Perth, in different cities, and I was like, that was new for us, like because we were
Mm-hmm.
used to like being with teacher on class and doing our study, but definitely there were some
Did you
teachers
actually
with
have like an
class.
online class?
Yeah, I mean, not all the subjects, but some
Mm-hmm.
of the subjects had online teachers, so they
Okay.
used to. Yeah, that was a bit interesting, but that didn't really made a big difference in learning because I think you can learn anyway. So we had access to them anytime through Zoom meetings. We can ask them anytime. So that wasn't that hard, but in the beginning, it was a bit about getting used to the system and everything. But as the time passed on, I was able to adapt to those things, and slowly things went on. But looking back, I was really a shy person when I came here for the first time. I used to sit at the back and bit more hesitant to contact teachers and everything. But slowly, as I moved on, I realized that if I want to achieve my goal, I have to be different. I have to put myself out, and from that point, I sort of
Did you have like
started.
any particular moment or anything like that from which you feel like that change that
Yeah,
happened?
yeah. I mean, like like once you realize that it's not going to be easy to achieve that thing, and you go through all your thoughts, and so once you reach that point, and you realize that, okay, this is not the way to do it. You have to be different. You have to change yourself. I just had that self realization. And I used to talk with professors, and they used to advise me as well, like if you want to. I used to talk with them from day one, like, okay, how is the market? How is the job market? How can I approach different people? Those kind of things. I was really curious always, and they used to tell me that you should be really able to go out, talk with people, put yourself out, and that's how you grow your network, and that's how you build that confidence, right? And I think we all have done this. I went to all those buildings looking for the internship, because I came in July 2017, and the summer break was approaching. And I had that mindset, okay, this is the good opportunity for me if I can get some internship or any kind of roles, right? So thinking that with positive outlook, I went out, right? But of course, the result was not really as I expected. But that moment did help me to realize that, okay, that's fine. Okay, I got the rejection, but at least I went out. So
Exactly.
that was one step. That was one step further, right? Yeah. So, and then got all the rejections. So plan A failed. Now what's next? Now
Rejections,
plan B
like
was.
how do you handle rejection? Since there's rejection, like it's hard for people to handle rejections, like, how what's your
Yeah,
like process regarding like handling rejections?
that's right. Look, I'm a really positive person. And I believe in myself, and I've always believed in myself from day one, right? And apart from that, I got the rejection, and I continued chatting with my professors, right? My teachers, right? And they told me that, okay, Prince, you can, involve in other opportunities like volunteering, or you can look into that space as well, because that might help you to learn about the Australian work culture, right? And I sort of understood why I was rejected, because I didn't have that local experience. I was just a new guy, landed 2 months ago, and looking for those big roles,
Yeah,
right? That's not possible.
that's not
And that's
happening.
why, yeah. And I was like, all right, that's fine. So I'll go for plan B. And I started surfing about the other opportunities. And I'm also passionate about doing social services, and luckily I came to know about the EWB, right? And from that point, next day, once I read about them, and I was like, okay, that's my values. It aligns with my values, right?
Where did
In
you
social
read? Where did
service.
you read? What did you read about them?
Now, from the website, I was surfing different websites about the different organizations, and I sort of read about their values, like they do the community projects through engineering,
Okay.
right? So they work towards the empowerment of community also in Nepal, they got different programs in Nepal as well.
Mm.
Nepal, Cambodia, Timor-Leste, and so they got different branches and activities in those countries, right? And I was like, okay, that's really cool. I want to meet those like-minded people. And next day, I took a train,
Mm.
went to Fuscray,
Mm.
and there's a bit of, I think, 15 minutes walk from the station.
Mm.
New guy, bag on, that big bag on my back, and then sweaty as hell. That was hot weather,
Yeah.
and big building. I went there, and I had to, because I didn't have the pass to get in, so I had to wait in the door for like 20 minutes to just waiting for someone to come in and let me in. And yeah, I went in and I had a chat with Aina. I still remember that moment. And we had a good chat, and she told me about the summer internship program, where all the mostly the university students from all over Australia, they come for that role, and they get involved in different projects, right? And she told me about those kind of activities, like how I can get involved, and kind of things. And she told me to apply for that. And I applied that, and I got that phone call. I wasn't expecting, but I got the phone call from the national office, saying that, "Oh, Prince, we would like to have your interview." I was in the clouds. That was the most happiest moment, because like within that short time, I was able to get that opportunity. And yeah, I mean, it's not like I got that because I was lucky, or I was you know what I mean. Like, I got that because I put myself out, and I had that that mindset of, okay, I want to get this. I want to do this. I had that positive mindset, and I believed in myself. So I think I got that role from that thinking. Yeah.
But also there was your hard work. Like, you should have to go through like a process to get that, right? It
Of
wouldn't be like,
course. Yeah.
so
Yeah. You have to fill all those application forms and everything. It was a bit of process, but at the end, it was really satisfying. And I would say, I still say that EWB is the, because of EWB, I'm here, because that was my turning point.
yeah, that was your turning point. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to figure out. Like, things like that. Like, for most of international students, I guess when we come here, we're so stuck with like your work-life balance that you're not being able to actually balance that, actually, or whatever. Like,
Correct.
we don't apply for those kind of like opportunities. We don't look out
Yeah.
for those kind of opportunities. Why do you think that happens generally? What do you think, according to what you have seen in your place? Why do you think that happens actually?
Well, I think the main thing is, brother, like, when I used to volunteer, I used to talk with different students from Nepal as well. And the answer I used to get from them was, I used to tell them, you can also get involved, like me, in volunteering activities. Because once I volunteered at the national office, I went back to uni to establish the university chapter for the EWB. And I was looking for the students to come into my group and run activities. And I used to chat with different people, and they used to tell me one thing: Prince, all right, that's good, but it's not really beneficial financially,
Financially.
right? And I was like,
Financially.
okay. And, like, I understand that we have that financial side as well, like we have to look into that. But the main thing is you have to look for the long term,
Exactly.
right? And in the short term, yes, it's not beneficial. It doesn't look like that, right? But in the long term, it will be beneficial. We are the example here, right? I can say that with confidence. And that was those were the answers I used to get. Like, and also, if you really want to do this kind of activities, you should have that passion as well towards the community. I think that as well. And once you have that passion, brother, I'm not saying people to volunteer 7 days a week or 14 days in a fortnight. It just takes few hours in a week or it just takes like few hours fortnightly, right? When I used to be at the uni, I used to finish classes at 7:30, 6:30 sometimes, and I used to go to the MCG, where I used to volunteer for Travels in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my commitment, you know. I really wanted to do that because it was helping me professionally. Though it wasn't paid job, that's fine, but I used to interact with different people, and I used to handle like 40, 50 people's crowd because we used to provide the buggy service, like a wheelchair service to the people from train station to the MCG guides. It's a long walk, so people with differently able people find it challenging to travel that long distance. So we were just trying to providing some travel support. So at the same time, I was doing the community service, but also it was helping me to grow professionally. Like I had that shyness before. Now I used to interact with 30, 40 people. Things used to get intense, but I used to manage that. So you learn the skills which you will
those
never
kind
learn
of
from other
things.
people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things you learn. That's the beneficial thing. It's not only finances, like
No.
you should look into those kind of things too.
Yeah. Finance will come after.
Exactly. You
It
need to
doesn't
look
take too
into
much time. Yeah.
exactly. So how was your like experience with Engineers Without Borders? Like how was it?
It was really new to me. Like it was my first exposure to the Australian work culture, and things here are really systematic,
Yeah.
right? There's a protocol for everything, and professionalism is the most. Without being a simple things, but it does matter. So it was an eye opener for me, like how the Australian work culture is, how you interact with people, right? What activities are done in mostly in many offices, because I have seen that the activities they do is almost similar in other places as well. I mean, the work culture. So that's why I always say to people, like, doesn't matter where you go for volunteering, just go for it, because the work culture is similar, right?
Yeah.
And once you have that exposure to that work culture, it looks different in your resume as well, right? Because simple, right? Because if you look at the resume of two different people, one has done volunteering, both have the same degrees, like master's or bachelor's, whatever it is, and one has done the volunteering activities and one hasn't. Who do you think will the hiring person will prefer?
Volunteering means he had some kind of experience here.
Yeah, definitely. I chat with my boss and he says the same thing. Definitely, he will go for someone who has done something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, the EWB was really good for me. And from that was the point where I learned the importance of networking, because we used to interact with, people from different engineering background. They used to work in, multiple big industry people. So if you look the portfolio of like successful people here, like those people who are in like leadership roles, or those are really professionally successful, you'll see that they have done some sort of community activities, right? So that's the importance here. They really value those things.
Yeah.
That's what I have seen. And yeah, at EWB, I had a chance to meet with different students from around Australia, and I had a chance to see
What did
things
you
from
do
their.
actually within like Engineers Without Borders? Like, were you there like once a week, twice a week, or how was it like? And what did you do in it?
No, I was like 4 days a week, almost
4 days a
4 days a week,
Uh-huh.
and we used to do different projects, like the community projects, right? So where I also had a chance to run the event at Engineers Australia, where we had a national annual event where the students from different universities, they come up with different projects. Like the EWB gives challenges to the students, all over Australia, and the university students, they come with the solution for that challenge, right?
Okay.
So for example, maybe in Vanuatu, the main profession there is the coconut copras. We call them the copras. That's the coconut cover, the shell. So they give the challenge like, okay, how to dry those copras, right? So they can use that as a fuel.
Okay.
So they give those kind of challenges, and they come with the solutions, like they make some kind of heating mechanisms, with the locally available materials, right? So it's about like problem solving. So they come with different solutions, and the judge will look into the solutions, and the winner gets the prize. Something like that.
So it's like a certain week's event kind of thing.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, those kind of things. And there are lots of other projects we used to run as well. But at the same time, apart from those technical things, we used to do the weekly presentations on specific topics. So they used to give us like certain topic, or we can choose by ourselves to talk about something. So that was helping us to improve our communication skills, our presentation confidence. So those kind of things, like it was not only about the technical things, it was also about those soft skills. So overall, in general, that was really, really fruitful for me. And that was really good. And I told you, like, that was also a turning point for me to break that lack of confidence, and which turned me into more confident and more outgoing. And I understood the importance of networking with different people as well.
Isn't confidence thing, like how confident you are right now, and as you said, like you weren't confident back then. Did you have like any those kind of like embarrassing moments, like in the beginning, which you think like it was really stupid maybe, or you just didn't know about that, but you did it?
Not many I can think of, but yeah, of course. I mean, I used to shiver like when I used to be on the stage, like when I used to talk in front of the people doing the presentation in the uni. I used to shiver, to be honest. Like I used to get really nervous, like those kind of things, like. And once we start, talking with people on regular basis, that just goes away, So that's why I tell people, like, don't just bound yourself within your room or within your couch. Go out. Doesn't matter, like go anywhere. Go into the park, say hi to people and just start chatting. And you never know, you might meet someone from some companies, CEOs. You never know.
You never know. That's the thing about the confidence thing, is when you come here somehow, because whatever we have been taught from the childhood, or whatever we have seen, learned, because I know myself that I wasn't even, I've said this thing in the podcast before, like I wasn't able to take like an order from like a customer, I didn't have that confidence just to write down what she was saying, you didn't have
that's
that.
Right.
So those are the kind of things, like like when you realize, like how confident you have become, how much you have like developed, or how much you have grown so far, so it's always good to realize or reflect back on those kind of things. And about building confidence, like you said, how you went out to look for internships and those kind of things. I did that similar kind of thing while finding jobs in the beginning, where I would just go out and just distribute the resumes, and somehow, although I didn't find a job from that helped me to build that confidence, like to go out and talk to anyone, anything.
Yeah. And the thing is, like before, like when I was new, sometimes it was really hard for me to understand the local people, like what they're saying, like, because it's different, like the accent is so different. And so once you go out and start chatting with different people, and that, I think you get used to it, to the accent as well. So that sort of helps you to improve your listening skills and also your speaking skills. you don't have to be super good, but at least if you can understand and if you can, speak clearly so they can
Mm.
understand, I think that's really helpful for your future career as well.
Yeah, true. You learn a lot of things, like just going out and talking. Again, it depends upon people's interest, maybe, but I'm that kind of person who like to go out and know about someone else's culture, like like how their thinking
Yeah,
is different from me, like I like to know those kind of things. So like I can talk to anyone like anything, because there's always something, like you don't have to know things, you can just ask them, okay, what does that mean, what does that mean,
yeah, yeah.
that gives you
That's
like
it.
reasons to have that conversation, and you know more about them, understanding the culture, because we are in the place like that. I enjoy that
Yeah,
personally myself,
that's
but
right.
maybe not everyone enjoys that, that's why they don't do that,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's a
Depends
good
on
thing. Yeah.
depends on the persons, but I think it's really worth it if you do it,
Mm.
because that's where it comes like pushing yourself beyond the limit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a shy person, you start from one person.
Mm.
Today you can talk with one person. You don't have, if you find it a bit uncomfortable meeting in person, you can join online groups, or you can approach someone from your industry
Mm-hmm.
and talk about your career, talk about your anything. Start from this, from something. You can talk from online platforms. You don't have to go out. So once you develop that confidence from online chatting, and you can go for a walk and just start talking with random people, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how you build it.
Yeah, talking about like uncomfortable, being uncomfortable, like I have a hard time too with that, but somehow you have to voluntarily go into that uncomfortable situation, like
That's
knowingly,
it.
like
Yeah.
that it is going to be uncomfortable, it is
Yeah.
uncomfortable, but if you
Yeah.
go in there, if you come out of that, something good is going to happen, you are going to feel good about that for sure, so
That's right. Yeah.
voluntarily going into that uncomfortable situations, because it's hard to explain why or how for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
but somehow whenever I have like voluntarily got into like those kind of like uncomfortable situations, at the end of the day I always feel good about that, like it's like getting victory over something for me somehow,
Yeah. It was. It was. Yeah. But you. Yeah.
right, it's fun, but yeah, I like to do
Yeah.
that, especially just to keep my brain somehow keep on working, or like
That's
it's
right.
kind of a
Yeah.
kick I get out of it, I guess, to challenge myself. That's what you
Yeah.
like to, I guess I
Yeah.
read it
Yeah.
in LinkedIn or somewhere, like if it doesn't challenge you,
Yeah.
it doesn't change you.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? What does that mean to you?
That is, look, I mean, from my own story,
Mm-hmm.
that was really matching to my own experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had stayed within my room doing nothing, if I hadn't challenged my own perceptions,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I would have, I would have never got that chance to be here where I am now, right? So once you, as I told before, like um, once you feel comfortable with your odds,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Once you push yourself beyond that, beyond your comfort zone, right? Then only you will face the challenges, right? If you stay in your room, if you keep applying the online jobs and do nothing,
Mm-hmm.
you will not get the job, right?
That's not
You
enough.
go out, you go to the industry, you talk with the industry people, somebody will be rude to you, right? It's a challenge, right?
Yeah.
Somebody will be rude, somebody will be mean to you, which is fine.
In most cases you wouldn't even get to the office, because I've experienced that, like where you need a
Yes.
pass key to get to the office, you can't even get there, so that's gonna happen.
Yeah. I told you I've been, yeah,
Yeah.
so what I mean to say is that once you meet those challenges, then you will understand your worth. You will start to discover your abilities.
Mm.
You will know your potential, right? So
Yeah.
once you face those challenges, you will grow mentally more stronger,
Yep.
right? Because in the future, if you again have to go through those challenges, because you have already done that now, right? So it will just feel like a normal thing. All right, that's fine. Rejection,
True.
that's fine. Move on.
Even though it's hard, you know already what
Yeah,
it feels like. You're used
yeah,
to it now.
correct. In the beginning, yeah, of course, it's hard to take it,
Yeah.
but once you make yourself like comfortable with that, okay, that's fine. Life keeps moving on,
Yeah.
and you just move on. So that's what I mean. Like once you you know hit your head with different obstacles and you stand up again,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how you become your better version,
Yeah.
right? It's easy saying than being done,
Of
but
course.
we have done it.
Yeah.
We have done it.
I don't know
So
if I
I
have
think
done it, but I keep on questioning myself. Have I? Maybe. I don't know.
uh,
It's like with me, it's never enough. Maybe that's a good thing in a sense that
yeah,
it keeps me. It helps me to keep moving forward, keep doing more. But sometimes it also like gets in a bad place where I'm like,
yeah.
have I really done anything in life? Do
Well,
you
I
have that
think
kind of feelings?
Well, I think I used to have that before, but now what I feel is like I think we forget to give credit to ourselves.
Mm,
Sometimes, like we
yeah.
just it always feels like, oh, that's not enough. But
Uh,
now what I realized is like, oh, that's not the way to think it.
mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes we have to thank ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to appreciate the hard work we have done,
Mm,
and that helps you to create that positive outlook for the future.
mm-hmm.
If you always stay negative, like, oh, that's not enough,
Mm,
right? It will never be enough,
yeah.
right? At least be happy with what you have achieved, right? And things takes time. It's like I'm here not with magic or just like that. No,
Mm-hmm.
I have gone through, like we both, like we
Yeah,
have
you had
gone
to go
through
through
lots
that
of.
hard work. Yes.
Yeah, of course. When people say it, they might think, "Oh, he's so lucky. He got a job." No, hell no. We have done lots of things to come here,
Yeah.
and like we have skipped lunch to save money. I have slept in car to save money,
Mm-hmm.
and I have, what I mean, like those kind of things, like sleepless nights. We all go through that. I know that, but what I mean to say is that it is fine. And so look at the hard work we have done coming
Mm-hmm.
from different culture, different language, and doing jobs here, maintaining the work-life balance here. It's not
Mm.
a joke, it's a big thing. So thank yourself, thank yourself.
Yeah, of course, you need to do that too. I just keep
Yeah.
on forgetting that from time to time. I just have to remind myself again, back again. And it's always good like talking to people like you who helps me remind that,
Yeah.
Because
I,
yeah, the only thing that if you're here in Australia, if you're living independently on your own, that's
yeah,
already something you should be proud of. You
that's
shouldn't be
it.
settled with that. You shouldn't be
Yeah,
settled with that. You should be looking forward to do more.
correct.
But
Yes, of
but
course.
being
Yeah,
here, living independently on your own, living your own life, doing things on your way, that's already something. So you
correct.
should be
Yeah,
proud of that too.
that's right. And I talk with lots of graduates and students these days, and I keep saying to them, because I when I talk to them, I feel that lack of confidence,
Mm-hmm.
like just not believing in themselves,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that's not the way to look into it,
Do you
right?
think it's also because that's what it is among most of our cohort? Like, except for like few people who are doing things, like who are motivated to do things, rest of the crowd is the ones who are always like chilled out, back to relax, and like whatever odd jobs they have, they just don't want to go, push themselves and go out there. The finances are coming and they're comfortable with that, and they just don't want to go out there and do more. Do you think it's
So
also because of like people like that?
I understand. I absolutely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing here is, brother, um, that's where it comes about self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First, you have to understand yourself. What do you want? Right. what do you really want to do? Do you want to focus on your career, or do you want to focus on just earning money by doing other jobs?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying other jobs are bad. I respect jobs, yes. But
Of
if you're
course.
from IT, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you should be looking for your IT career if you love it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't love it, that's a different thing,
Yeah.
right? But again, like during the journey, you are free to change the course of the career and everything. But what I'm trying to say is that not only career to grow yourself as a professional, right?
Mm-hmm.
To develop those qualities, right? The main thing is, as you told, we have to learn to break that cycle,
Yeah.
right? So we Nepalese, I mean, we have that brotherhood or
Yeah.
sisterhood. That's a good thing,
Very good thing.
very excellent thing, right?
But
But sometimes it's too much,
yeah.
right? So you have to able to break that. As you also, I have listened to your podcast as well before, and then I think with Chris, I think from CQ,
Mm-hmm.
I think he mentioned the same thing as well. Um, Nepalese, most of the international
Yeah.
graduates, like they tend to spend most of the time with their own cohort.
Yeah.
So what's happening there is like the information that surrounds them will
Yeah.
never go beyond that circle,
Exactly.
right? And they're getting the advice from those people who are not even from their career background,
Who don't know who
and
went
and,
there?
and they believe that,
Who?
right?
Yeah.
And they will just have that negative mindset. Oh, it's hard to get job in engineering. It's
Yeah.
hard to get job in IT, right? So that's not the way to do it.
Mm.
The thing you should be doing is you should approach the people from your own industry,
Yeah.
right? And ask them, talk to them. And look, never hesitate to ask for help,
Yes.
right? Some people were mean to you, doesn't mean everyone will be mean to you.
Most people are not.
No, there are bunch of great people who are happy to help,
Yeah.
right? So keep trying, talk with people. LinkedIn, it is so easy these days. Have a
LinkedIn.
look. All right,
Exactly.
bam, my industry, text him, can you please give me 5 minutes Zoom meeting? I'll be happy to do it. I
Yeah.
do it always, So as you said, like that our culture, that just, being within that circle and just within that wall, you can't see beyond that wall.
Yeah.
You have to break it.
What's the way to break it? What do you think?
Again, I said before, self-reflection. What do you want,
Mm-hmm.
right? Once you do your self-reflection, you know where you want to go in next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know it's hard to find, it might be hard to find that exact passion,
Mm.
but if you do some self reflection, there should be something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That could be within your career or within any field, that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, doing that self reflection will help you to understand, who you are,
Mm.
right? Because you can understand you are the only one who can understand yourself,
Mm.
right? I can't understand you better, you can't understand me better, right? So once you do the self-reflection, now you have to be very much focused on, okay, so this is what I want in next 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now what can be done, right? So again, it comes to the same thing. You network with different people from that industry.
Mm.
You ask them, all right, so what's going on in this industry? Because we are from Nepal and we might be lacking some skills in that industry, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But yeah, but it's never late to learn. And it's best if you can do this from the point when you are still at the uni.
yeah.
If you start doing that, if you're listening to this, to us, if you're a new student, if you're a, if you're just doing your university, please get involved in something where you can learn the Australian work culture.
Yeah. Exactly. That's very
All
helpful.
right. Yes, and it's good to make friends. Be with your Nepalese friends. Of course, we love each other, right?
Exactly.
That's a good thing. But at the same time, you have to be mindful of yourself. What do you want in life,
Yeah.
right? So what I mean to say is that you are far better than you think you are, and there are lots of hidden possibilities you can explore within yourself, and that can be explored only when you face with challenges,
True.
right?
Yeah.
If you only watch Netflix, just chilling with friends every day, same thing, and do nothing, and you get depressed, saying that, oh, I don't have a job, it's so hard.
Mm.
First, think about it. Why it is hard? Why? What was the reason behind that?
Yeah.
Think how you spend your time. Think about your behaviors, everything. So I'm not trying to project negative things. I'm just trying to say that
Mm-hmm.
if you want to progress your career, or if you want to be a better version of yourself, the only way to do it is put things into action.
Yep. You gotta go out there and do things. Like you just can't imagine things and want them to just happen by themselves. You have to go out there and put
Yeah,
that work.
that's it. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And you might say, well, it's not, I mean, it's hard, of course. It's not easy. Otherwise,
Yeah.
everyone will do it, right?
Exactly. That's
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 why
the
you are unique.
difference. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like when people say like like how there are only few people who are at the top and like it's not equal or it's not like system is rigged and everything. The thing is that you're not just doing proper work. You're not doing that hard work you should be doing.
Yeah,
That's why you're not
correct.
there. Like, do you think like the CEOs of like Apple or like big companies, like, do you think they would be watching Netflix on nighttime every day? Of course not.
Yeah, yeah,
Think about
yeah.
how. I can only wonder, like, like how effectively they would utilize the time they have in their life because
Correct.
all of us have the same kind of time, same time.
Yeah,
It's just that
yeah.
they are good at utilizing that time
That's
better,
it. I'm not saying don't have fun. Of course, have fun, have drinks, go to party. That's
Yeah.
fine. But at the same time, be mindful of your future. Why you are here. And there's a saying, brother. Like I just remember, like
Uh huh.
if you're born poor,
Uh
that's
huh.
not your fault.
Yeah.
But if you die poor, that's your fault. Not
True.
only in context of money, but
Yeah.
in any
In
context.
context of anything, like okay, poor, being rich, poor, like the world I
Yeah,
can see around me, it's like how we are so much attached to money,
yeah,
being what's the point of being rich if you have like a shitty family, if you have a shitty relation and you can't sleep properly? What's the use of
that's
having
it.
all of that money?
Yeah,
Being
yeah,
rich doesn't have to be only with the money. Rich should be overall your life. That should be rich. It's just having a, it's not just about having a lot of money.
yeah. Absolutely right thing, brother. Like, um, you might be rich,
Mm,
you might look happy, but are you really happy?
that's the thing.
You know what I mean? So it's a deep subject to discuss about, but yeah, just want to say that don't just focus on the finance. Of course, we need finance. Yes, I agree. We have to pay our bills. I'm not saying that, but if you invest in yourself, money will come. It will come. It will take some time, yes, but money will be there, right? So you have to learn to invest in yourself,
Yeah.
all right? And I always say that no matter who you are,
Mm,
no matter where you are from, no matter how much money you have,
mm,
or no matter how much successful you are, always be ready, be happy to extend
mm,
help to those who need help,
mm,
right? Because as we discussed before, physical things will disappear,
mm,
right? Even we will disappear one day, right? But the impact you had in people will be always there,
mm. True.
right? And that's the main thing here. That's the way of living. Be kind, be humble, and just help wherever you can help. And at least you're happy that at the end of the day, okay, at least I was able to make some impact.
Yeah.
Um, in someone's life.
Making impact on someone's life, it's really something that, it helps you somehow to maybe just feel good about yourself for some people, but it's also about like it gives some kind of a meaning to life maybe. Because I was involved a lot in social innovation back in when we were in the uni, and you were
Yeah,
too, I guess, right? And
yeah,
also being
yeah.
with Engineers Without Borders, that's what you're passionate about. And
Correct.
I wouldn't say I'm passionate about it, but I try to do what I can from whatever state I am. Like I wouldn't say I'm much of a social service guy or whatever, but I
Mm,
do whatever I can from my part so that it's
correct.
helpful either for the community or either it's helpful for a particular person.
Yeah, yeah.
Simple things matters in people's life,
It
so do
does.
what you can from your place.
It does. It looks very small. It might look, really small, or it might look not really impactful for now, but
Mm,
you know, it gets compounded, and
yeah.
it has a bigger impact in the future. So never underestimate the power of these things.
Mm,
Yeah, go for it.
yeah, to go for it. I wanted to ask something else to you about like the education system out here, because since you're from engineering, so you did your bachelor's in engineering back in Nepal,
Yes, correct.
and you came in here for the masters, right? So
Yeah.
similar like mine. What was your experience like? Like compared to like what, because you did particular masters of civil engineering itself, right?
Um, yeah, it was general, but focus was in geotech and transportation.
Mm-hmm.
That was the main focus, and I did my final year project in geotech.
Mm-hmm.
That was my focus at the end of the year. Um,
Okay.
well, yeah, of course, there's a big difference. You know, looking back in Nepal, like
Mm-hmm.
the the most important thing, which I love here is
Uh-huh.
the the freedom from politics.
Mm. True. I've never thought about that in like that, but yeah, that's very true.
And because the amount of hard work you do is almost similar, right? Same
Mm.
stuffs. You have to work hard. Of course, it's here is a bit more advanced, and the way of doing is a bit different. But the amount of efforts you have to put in is almost similar,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the main thing I noticed that gave me that happiness was the freedom from those. I don't want to talk about it. It's bullshit, but
Yeah.
the
But that was
political.
there. Yeah, that was a part of
Yeah.
it. That political agendas attached to our studies.
I mean, if it was done for a good purpose,
Mm.
that was a good thing. But even for like nonsense things, there used to be politics.
Yeah.
They used to shut down the college, and that was really, really bad.
Which
And
college did you study in back home?
Pokhara University,
Poly University. Okay.
yeah, and then yeah, I mean, anywhere, it doesn't matter where you
Mm-hmm.
study in Nepal, like TU, PU, or
No,
wherever
but
you do it.
there's a difference, like because when you study in a place like Pulcho campus, one of the things about Pulcho campus was that again it somehow came from, I don't know exactly, but through political agendas. But
Yeah,
our exams used to happen in time, in schedule. It was always like
correct.
in the right time. It would happen. So that thing
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really good out there, especially when you come in a place like
yeah,
Pulchok. I don't know about other unis, but
yeah,
that was something I was very happy about being in that place.
yeah. That's good. Yeah, and it was not the politics done for the change, or it wasn't the politics done for the with a genuine agendas.
Yeah.
It was just done for someone's ego or someone's personal things. So that used to hamper a lot
Mm-hmm.
as a student. In our mindset,
Yeah.
we had that negative impact. And when coming here was, oh, at least you can do your things in peace, and that was the biggest change for me.
Yeah. How about like studies, how they used to teach, like overall, like how do you think, like what do you think about the way you would understand things or way they would teach things? Were there kind of a difference back home and here? Like did you
Um,
how was your understanding, like like did you understand things better back home because of the way of teaching there, or you understand things better here because of the way of teaching here?
Well, I would say here a bit easier, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Easier in a way that is useful for the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, look, back home, all our teachers, they do really hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know that as well. And, like in every aspect, like even in terms of technology,
Mm-hmm.
there were things which were a bit, I'm just trying to find the correct word for that.
Mm-hmm.
A bit more old fashioned, I would
Yeah.
say.
We are
But here,
outdated.
yeah,
The
yeah,
course is really
and
outdated.
correct. And here, of course, things are different. We use better technologies,
Mm-hmm.
better equipment, and everything. Everything is done by the computers, right? Even the all the experiments is all linked with the computers, and it's all digital. Like
Yeah.
most of the cases. But in that sense, yeah, definitely there was a big difference in learning. Otherwise, I would say in terms of the efforts you have to put in,
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty much similar. Like we had lots of subjects in one term as well, which was almost same back home as well. We
Yeah.
used to have tons of subjects.
How many subjects did you
So
used to have here per semester?
uh, to be honest, it's been a long time. I just want to remember how many, but I would say I think at least 7 or 8.
Really?
If I'm not
Even
wrong,
here?
I because with all the what do you call that? 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think 6 easy. Yes,
Yeah. Because I
yes.
used to have only like 4 subjects in a semester here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's why it was pretty easy. Otherwise, like having those 8 subjects, like
yeah,
it was pretty hard back there for me personally because bachelor's of engineering civil engineering it was like eight
yeah,
subjects each semester, 6 months,
yeah,
four
yeah,
years. So like
yeah.
eight is how many? 56 subjects, yeah. So something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
50 to
yeah,
56 subjects.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
those many
yeah,
subjects we had to
yeah,
study those many subjects in those 4 years of time.
yeah,
But here for 2 years, I think I only studied
yeah.
like 16 subjects.
Yeah, but I mean, I may be wrong. I can't exactly remember how many were there,
Uh
but
huh.
no matter how many were there, because there used to be lots of assignments and
Mm,
there used to be lots of lab activities. So what I mean to say is that the amount of efforts, the subjects might look small in number,
mm,
but the amount of efforts you have to put in was
mm.
almost similar, right?
It's more in a sense.
Yeah, it's more in a sense. I mean, the numbers doesn't matter. It could be 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't matter.
Mm,
What I mean to say is that the amount of effort you have to put in doing those all reports, the
yeah.
software things, lab activities, the way of writing here is different. You have to write it properly with all referencing and everything.
That's what I
So
mean when I say difficult.
yeah,
We didn't have to do that back home.
that's
There
right.
weren't like
Yeah,
academic journal articles. We could just pull anything
yeah,
from Google and paste it.
that's
Here,
right.
you
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
have that proper journal articles, verified facts, not whatever you want.
Yeah, because I finished my study in 2019, at the end of 2019. So yeah, I almost forget those kind of how many subjects were there, to be honest, because I'm mostly occupied with the job things now.
Yeah.
It's hard to recall, but I think, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter 3 or 4, but the amount of effort was really, really big.
Mm. And also, like other thing about the education system, I've realized it's as I already have said, like it's more verified and like it's proper academic journal articles and not everything. The other thing is
That's
also like
right.
the assignment thing. It's like you're studying throughout your whole course because with
Yeah,
engineering it was like 4 years you were just having a chill time and then
yeah,
last 2 months you just study and just give exams just whatever is seen in the book. Again,
yeah,
it's because maybe we came here for the masters rather than bachelors. It may be different, I don't know exactly, but it's like you're learning current things like what is happening right now, and you are
yeah.
looking at the proper facts and doing those assignments. It's not like
Hmm.
giving. I hated exams. I hated exams. We had like 4 or 5 exams here too, but I have always hated exams. So I maybe because of that too, I always loved assignments, but also the
Yeah,
fact that it's current, it's like fact, it's from journal articles, and you're actually learning something out of it, you know.
Yeah, there's no mocking around.
Yeah.
You have to be. It should be. It should be a fact. You
Mm-hmm.
can't lie. You have to show that you have done the job,
There's
right?
this thing
So
called plagiarism here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We don't have that back home.
You can't even lie. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And again,
But
yeah, go on.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. That's why I mean, look, the education system in Nepal is also very good.
Mm.
I mean, there are lots of rooms for improvements, but we also have the talents, which can do those kind of transformations.
Yeah.
We have the capacity, but again, as I said before, there are lots of factors that's affecting that progress, right? Mostly the politics, definitely, as we all know about it. So, yeah, I think, I would love to contribute towards some sort of improvements
Mm.
in the future, hopefully. But yeah, because when I look back, it just feels different. Yeah, you know what I mean? That
It's
feeling
completely different one.
that,
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I
yeah,
wanted to know from you, because for me it's like completely different. As I said, back home, what it was like, what happened, you know, what. Yeah, it's again there was a different kind of fun part to that too. Like engineering days, those 4 years were one of the best days of my life, because I really enjoyed my life. Like coming here, you had to manage like both academics and your finances, and you have to work and everything. Back home, I
yeah,
didn't have to do that. You know, you could actually
yeah.
go out and enjoy with friends like every day. You know.
And that's the other thing, brother. Like, I really um, thank myself for
Mm.
coming here, because now I can see myself as a independent person.
Yeah,
If I was in Nepal, I think I would have been a different person. So I'm glad that I moved
me too.
here. I faced those challenges, and yeah, it just transformed me into a different person.
Me too, man. I've realized that too. I've realized that
Yeah,
too. Like I realized that too within like 2 years of like I was here. You know, like the things that I did, being in the university, being involved in every place, is like it's something I've always noticed about like coming from a small place and going into a bigger place. Like I grew up in Hetauda, and
oh
then
yeah,
I moved on to Kathmandu while I for my bachelor's. And during
yeah,
those phases, something that I realized was just because I was in Kathmandu, I knew a lot of things somehow because I met
yeah,
different people or from different backgrounds. I knew more. That is something I realized back then. Coming here, I've realized that much more. You know, like how the things that I know, like I don't know right now, but I used to like be able to say hi and hello in like different languages, like 10 or more. You know,
yes,
so the kind of knowledge you have, the kind of wisdom you have, the kind of maturity you have just because of
yeah,
being in this place, it's good thing. It's a
yeah. It
big thing,
is.
you know.
It is. Sometimes we just like in our job site, we
Mm-hmm.
share the some like I share some Nepalese words with my colleagues, and
Mm-hmm.
they find it really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I also learn some slangs from them,
Yeah,
the
it's
local
always fun to
slangs.
learn slangs.
It's always fun to learn those things. And one thing I've noticed here is, brother, like the sense of humor is really
Yeah,
good.
really good with all this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Look about that thing, you know. For some people it might sound racist, you know, the way they joke, the way the sense of humor they have. But if
yeah,
you're able
yeah.
to understand and if you're able to give them like a comeback with that, you really have a good vibe with those people.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. That's right. And lots of swearings,
Yeah,
but not in a bad way, but it's just
exactly.
like a
It's
normal
just a way of
part,
language.
yeah, way of life, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I've learned lots of swearing as well, to be honest. It just comes naturally. It's not like
Yeah.
I was meant to say it, but once you keep interacting with them all the time, and it's just like your mind, I think, just tries to adapt
Yeah.
into their way of communicating. But it's really fun to do the job, you know, like it's yeah, sense of humor, and yeah, those kind of cultural exchanges.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
The professionalism, again, it depends upon the places. Most probably different offices might have
That's
different,
right.
but I've seen that even with the professionalism, it's like there's a casualty among like the work culture here. Have you noticed that? Like it's like
Yeah,
we talk a lot about like personal things too. Like it's not only talking about professional things. We talk a lot about personal things. There is a lot of like casual conversations to hear.
we do. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's I agree with
you
that.
find that?
Like,
Yeah.
doesn't matter what your position is,
Mm.
everyone is same, you know. There is respect, of course. There is respect, yes,
Mm.
but that doesn't mean you will show your attitude. Okay, I'm a big guy, or
That's not
I'm
here. That is
here.
another like best
Nobody
part.
cares.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing, to be honest. Like, everyone is frank. I can talk with everyone in my company.
Yeah.
Like, there is no like such barriers. I can talk with my boss. I can talk with my managers. So it's been really like a family environment, to be honest.
Mm.
And that's a good thing, like whereas in Nepal is different. There is like a I'm a big person kind of
Yeah,
mindset.
yeah, that's the people who are like in certain positions. If they have done something, like they have the attitude like they are the greatest of all. Like everyone is below
Yeah.
me. I don't know, like that kind of mindset, but we don't
Yeah.
have it here. That's something that I love about like working here.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Respect for everyone, and that's the big thing.
Yeah, let's jump into like your Association of Young Nepalese Engineers Australia, AYNEA, that you have recently
Yeah.
established. Tell us your story about that, how it came to be, and what you're trying to do with that.
Well, I had this thought to start something like this way back, last year.
Mm-hmm.
But because of different things, I had to move to a new place and everything. I was not really able to do that. So I like to call it Aina
Uh-huh.
because,
Aina, okay.
yeah, kind of. I was
Like a reflection mirror.
Yeah, something like that. Because I was trying to find a catchy word which matches with some Nepalese,
Uh-huh.
with Nepalese background. And I was doing all these names in my notebook, and finally I was able to get that name, which is which sounds like Aina, but
Mm-hmm.
that's why I prefer to say it Aina. Look, the main reason behind this platform is simple. It's just about the same thing, like uplifting our people.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we have gone through all those struggles, ups and downs, and we have learned so many things from our experiences. So I want to make it as a platform where we can connect with all these Nepalese background engineers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where we can share our outlook about the our own experiences,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so that our future students and graduates at least know that, okay, there's a platform there, we can connect with them, and they will be able to guide through our career development. All right, so the first thing is networking, of course. All right, it is about creating a group where we have like-minded people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Second thing is, of course, helping each other wherever we can, right? So I just love it, like the amount of the positive feedback I have received in this short time.
Mm-hmm.
So many students, they come to us and they say that, well, this is a really good platform, because they were looking for something to get involved with,
Mm-hmm.
because we have tons and tons of Nepalese organization here, but there are very few of them which are really focused into helping youths for their career development. And
Mm-hmm.
also, it's not only about career, it's about mental health as well. It's about everything. So it is just like a guiding platform for our youths, to
Mm-hmm.
be honest. And my initial thought was to open up something for everyone, like every graduates. But I thought, well, it might be vague at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning if I include everyone. So and I thought, okay, let's do it the engineering field now, and if it goes pretty big and gets better, I will go for other as well. But
Yeah.
saying so, even if anyone is from IT, or you are from biomedical, you are from nursing, you are from any background, you can just come and join us. And if you want to talk with your career progress, or you can, if you want to talk about general, like anything, you can just contact us, or you can shoot me message in LinkedIn, and I'll be more than happy to have a Zoom meeting and share my knowledge.
That's great to know. So, what are your plans with Aina? Like, what are you planning to do? What's next?
Yeah, look, I mean, for now it is an open platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like a very short period of doing this, so I just want to keep it as an open platform to see how we grow. But we are going pretty good. But my future vision is to make it nationwide,
Mm-hmm.
and probably like open chapters in every states,
Mm-hmm. What do you
right?
mean by chapters? Like,
Isn't like the state chapters.
mm-hmm.
So we have the national level body, but
Mm.
we can go for the state level committees, where
Okay.
they can coordinate with the university students in their local community. So in that way, we will be able to make our impact bigger,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we will be coordinating with the universities as well in the future, right? So we can even collaborate with the internship providers, right? So we can guide our graduates towards those opportunities. We can collaborate with the employers in the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's also my vision. And yeah, that's the future plans. It's just to in any way, I just want to make sure that our students, our graduates, they get the best platform where they can explore their potential, and they can feel that, okay, we are not alone, right? We have got the whole community with us. They are there to help us. We can approach them. And look, when you are a struggling brother, even a small guidance can make a big
Yeah,
impact,
it does.
right?
That's what I was
It
going to
does,
talk about. Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
it's it's like I have experienced it myself. Like, like it's very helpful to like go through all these like difficulties being an international
yeah,
students, finding jobs, settling here, whatever. If only
yeah,
you have like a mentor, if only you have someone who you could ask to regarding like like
yeah,
making decisions in life, basically. If
yeah,
only you have
right.
that kind of a mentor, that kind of a person, it makes your life a lot easier. And what
It
you are
does.
doing, that's a great thing. That's exactly what you're trying to do. Be that guide, help those people in a certain way,
Yeah,
one way or
yeah,
the other. That's a great thing to have, bro. I hope your whatever you're trying to go gets more and more bigger. More power to you, brother.
yeah, yeah, and
And as
also
I
we
said,
can,
it's a great thing because it's also very much helpful coming from a Nepalese background, because it's much easier to approach people from our own background than from a different
yeah,
background. So
correct.
that's also a great thing that you have established.
And the other thing is, brother, like when I talk with the foreign people here,
Mm-hmm.
they have that perception about Nepalese, that Nepalese are only focused on healthcare, or they're only focused on hospitality sector.
That's what we
I,
see around the market.
I'm not disrespecting again.
Mm-hmm.
I respect each and every job. I just want to, and through this platform, I want to, you know, show that Nepalese are not only bounded within that sectors.
Yeah.
Nepalese are doing really great job in other multiple sectors like engineering or IT, nursing, other sectors. So, and I hope that this platform will be
Mm-hmm.
helpful to um, change that perception within people. That, and look, within this short time, brother, I have connected with so many great people
Mm.
which I never knew they exist.
Yeah.
They're doing jobs in Department of Transport.
Mm.
They're doing jobs in Vigors. They're doing jobs in local councils. So many people, and it makes me really happy to see that. Like, okay,
Yeah.
look at this. And so that's the main thing. Like it connects people from different areas, and people can see, oh, okay, okay, I live in okay, Sydney. Look,
Yeah.
I can connect with these people here. So I just want to be a connecting platform as well
Yeah.
for all of us, for our Nepalese community. But again, saying so, anyone can come and join us. They can talk to us, any background. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Of course, when you're saying like we respect each and every job. Sometimes people
Yeah.
mistake whatever we're saying to the fact that okay, they are against odd jobs, or
Mm.
why are you saying this? It's not like we're against odd jobs. Like if you're happy with whatever you are doing, if you think
Mm.
you are content with that, if this is how you want to live your life, more power to your brother, more power to your sister. Do that. The problem or the thing we are trying to say is that don't give up, don't give up on your dreams, don't give up on your
Yeah.
career you want to have, just
That's
because the
it.
people around you is doing exactly the same. Don't
Yeah,
give up
that's
is
right.
what we're
Yeah.
trying to say. We are not trying to disrespect any job or anything. All we're trying to
No.
say is there is a way out there for what you want to do. There is a way out for the career pathway you want to go. Take that.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't settle down for whatever you got around you.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, if you have passion, in nursing, if you have passion in engineering, or if you have passion in, I don't know, biomedical, what we mean to say is that don't go off the track,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And you can do it. It's just the way of doing, but eventually you can do it. That's why it's very important to connect with like-minded people
Exactly.
and learn from their experiences.
Yeah, true. It's like a common thing that goes around, floats around the market. You are the accumulation of like five people you surround yourself with.
That's
So
it.
it's
Yeah.
true. Like it's like it doesn't have to be true. If you are like self-aware, then although
Yeah.
being in that surrounding, although being in that environment, you can grow yourself. You
Yeah.
can be different. But if you
Yeah.
can't do that, maybe yeah, you should look around who you are like hanging around with too.
That's it. That's it. Again, it comes to the same thing. Do not believe in that negative outlook
Yeah,
people give you about your career. Only trust, or listen to those people who are actually doing your dream job, or who
exactly.
are in your career path. Talk to them, listen to them, all right? And then only you can achieve that.
Be very careful of who you take the advice from.
That's right.
Are
No,
they someone who have been there, done that, and know that that's why they are giving the advice, or they are just
yeah,
giving the advice because they know something from the internet? You need to be
yeah,
very careful who you're taking advice from.
that's right. And sometimes, people, they just muck around.
Hmm.
They don't really think about the impact it might have in someone's thinking, someone's career.
Mm.
That's why, I say that if you don't know anything, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
You speak only if you know about the industry, or if you have done something, some research about the industry. Otherwise, if you don't know, just don't say anything, and that might demotivate, or that might put them off the track.
Mm.
What you can do is, if you know someone, your friends, or who is doing the those kind of career activities, you can connect each other, from that channel. But yeah, saying so, please do not try to spread the negative outlook about some industries,
Yeah.
because we, as a young generation, it is our responsibility to make sure that we create that um, you know positive outlook within the industry as well. Like, we have to leave a good impression,
Mm.
like, because if we leave the bad impression, it's going to affect our future generation,
It does.
right?
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful of our activities. This is a foreign land. We should not act, I mean, it might be rude, but we should not act Nepalese in Australia.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
You
We
gotta
should,
change. You gotta
you gotta
change.
change, yeah.
The mentality, the thing is, that's what I've seen around me to here, like from our community. Look, I'm not complaining about this or anything, but
Yeah,
people come here, they have like good money, good house, good car. The
yeah,
mentality is still the same.
that's right. That's true.
Their lifestyle might have changed from here to there. There might be like good, better things, but the mentality is still the same. And it bothers me, like coming here, looking around all this, like seeing that although how people are different and everything is happening, like we can stay together in harmony, still people can't be a bit open-minded, and that's something that bothers
Yeah,
me actually.
yeah. And so some people like it's about it's mostly about the wealth.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, there are lots of stuffs I don't really want to talk about, but yeah, but we as a youth, we as a youth, we can definitely have impact
Mm.
um, for our upcoming students and graduates. So yeah, I just want to say that guys, do not hesitate to approach people.
Yeah, mostly
You
people
know,
are helpful. Another thing that I've realized out here is like how back home, again this is again complaining, I don't want to complain a lot about it, but
yeah,
it just keeps on coming. Yeah, so the other thing was like what I want to talk about is how we have that habit of pulling others leg. Like if you know something, you wouldn't say that to someone else because they might grow better than you. You know
yeah,
that kind of culture, that kind of feeling, you must have seen
yeah.
it, right? And here
That's
what I
true.
see is like people are ready to help you. If they know something that could help you, they will give you that information, for free.
Mm.
They like to help you. If you need help, go out and ask how to do certain things. They would be more than happy to help you.
Look, we should look this like if someone can progress better than you, it's great. It's good for the whole community,
Exactly.
right? It's good for me as well. Because if someone can be better than me, that's a good thing.
Exactly.
That's good for the whole community, isn't it?
If
There's
that
a
guy
name
is
of
not doing any shitty things, if he's doing the right work, good thing, ethical,
yeah,
more power to him. Like why it's like why can't we be happy looking at someone else's success or someone else's happiness? Why can't we be happy because of that? Someone else is
yeah,
happy, that's good. Be happy about that.
yeah. That's it. And there's a name of Nepal because if you do something good, if someone from your community does good, there's a name of Nepal,
Yeah,
right? Who is that person? That's Nepalese. Great. It's good for
exactly.
us as well, right? I remember like when I got selected for that Victorian International
Mm-hmm.
um, Education Award
Mm-hmm.
in 2019.
You also have NRNA award, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, the university selected me to apply for that award.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to make top four out of 164,
All right.
165 international student all over Victoria.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
And
something.
yeah, and when I went there for the award ceremony, and they used to ask me where you from, when I said Nepal, and that gave me a proud feeling, because they used to say that if I'm not wrong, I was the first Nepali to be in that position
Mm-hmm.
at that time, but now there could be more, but at
Mm-hmm.
that time. And when I say that Nepalese and Nepali, and that gave me goosebumps, like they
Yeah,
used to,
that's a
oh,
proud
Nepal.
feeling. That's a proud
Yeah,
moment
that's
for
a proud
yourself.
feeling. See, it's not only about me. I'm representing the whole country, whole community, So if somebody does good, best, if somebody does better than you,
Mm-hmm.
please learn to admire that and encourage them to do much more in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing goes wrong by thinking good about
Mhm.
someone. If you, it is also something that I could say for a fact that if you think like bad or wrong for someone else, it's going to affect you
That's
because
it.
that's what's going on your head. That's what's going
Yeah.
on your head. You're thinking something negative about someone else. That's giving you the negative feelings. That making you
Yeah,
make feel sad more about yourself. Be
that's it.
happy for someone else's happiness. Why do you have to think negative for someone else? Be happy for
Yeah,
someone else's
yeah,
happiness. You will be happy
yeah.
yourself.
That's when it comes to your values. Like if you are
Mm,
doing, look, people always something about leadership. Like
mm,
people always um, use the word leadership and management. It's like similarly.
mm.
They see it as a same thing, like it's the same thing, leadership and management, but it's a different thing.
It's a completely different thing.
It's a different thing, like this management is where you seek authority, right? Where you seek power.
Mm-hmm.
But leadership is something, it's about service. it's not about position.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about your power. So leadership is done because you have some passion, towards something,
Yeah.
right? So when you are leading something, if somebody can be better than you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's good for the whole team, right? Because the one of the thing of leadership is to bring the best in that person,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So what I mean to say is that you should, you should have that vision, that goal, that value. Like, okay, what do you really value? Like, because I'm doing the Aina, I'm why I'm doing this because
Mm-hmm.
I want to do some, positive impact within my community,
Yeah.
right? I'm not doing this for any other gains, or I'm not doing this for financial gains, right?
Mm.
I'm just doing this for the sake of, helping each other. So what I mean to say is that there should be a reason behind the things you are doing. And yeah, if you do things with a positive outlook without any expectations,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely you can achieve much more in the future. But yeah, there are lots of things, in our community. There are lots of organizations. I mean, that they are doing barbecues, they are doing cultural programs, but there are very few of them who
Mm-hmm.
really focuses on the youth programs. Like,
Development,
um,
or like personal
yeah,
development, career development.
yeah, it's good to have barbecues. It's good to have dance programs. It's great. I'm not against it. We love it, right? But at the same time, there, we should do something about ourselves. We
Yeah.
should do something. We should look after our youths because they are the future pillars of our community. So it's very important that to make sure that they get a good guidance. At least they have something to ask help for. So
Mm.
it's our responsibility to create that platform. So that's how I look things, and I'm moving towards it.
That's
Sorry.
great, bro. That's good. That's good. That's great, bro. What are you doing? That's a great thing. We tried something like that before too. Like, we
Yeah.
tried to have this association named International Nepali Students Association, INSA. So we
Yeah.
tried that. It hasn't. We are registered. We were able to develop a constitution and form it, but
Mm.
somehow I wasn't able to give time to it, so I had to leave.
Yeah.
And right now it's like in a limbo right now. But we
Yeah.
are looking for people like who like to work on that. It's basically we are trying
Yeah.
to form like CISA. You know about CISA?
Yeah. 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 I know.
So
Yeah.
basically that thing for Nepalese, like
That's
society.
really good.
We
Yeah.
try, yeah, it didn't work out pretty well. That's the thing,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
mean,
it's there. So if anyone's interested in something like that, you're always welcome for that
yeah.
too.
Yeah. And
But
it does take time. It does
yeah,
take time, your energy as well when doing these kind of activities. But at
yeah,
the same time, at the end of the day, it gives me a lot of happiness when I see those happy faces, like
mm,
they're happy to, get involved with us. That's the thing. But anyway, yeah. Well, if there is if there's anyone, with similar thoughts, with similar ideas, we can always collaborate together because there
yeah,
is power in unity. So we can yeah, look into it, and we can collaborate in the future, and go from there.
surely, brother, surely. It is almost like more than 1.5 hours, or maybe less than that, but it's already
Oh
over the
yeah,
1 hour time for sure.
that was
It
quick.
was really nice talking to you, brother. It was really nice to have you on our podcast. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. And yeah, to everyone watching this, please feel free to approach Bikesh or me, through LinkedIn if you want to talk about anything, like your general career, or if anything, just don't hesitate to contact us. We
Yep.
are always happy to help. Whatever we can do, we will do it. Yeah, that's all I want to say. And always be ready and happy to extend help to each other wherever you can, and that's very important as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, thanks for having me, brother. It's been really good to share my thoughts and experiences. Hopefully that was helpful.
It is. It's always helpful to listen to someone else's story. There's always something you can learn from, like their life story, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
All
And
right,
we
then,
all are
brother.
learning. Yeah.
Yeah, alrighty then. Thank you very much for coming.
No worries,
Thank you
brother.
everyone for listening to this. We'll see you soon. Have a good day.
See ya. Bye.
If you like this video, hit subscribe. You can listen to the full podcast in YouTube, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.